الحمد لله وكفى والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى وعلى آله الأتقياء وأصحابه الأصفياء أما بعد فقد قال جل وعلا في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنه لا ييأس من روح الله إلا القوم الكافرون. Respected friends and elders, Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us obviously the greatest of ni'mats and bounties, that is the ni'mat of Iman. How much shukr we make it is not sufficient. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us opportunity to present ourselves in His house today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always keep us in that condition that we frequent the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we value this Iman. Nonetheless, the topic that I would like to discuss today is with regards to something that unfortunately is a weakness amongst ourselves. And what is that? We are always negative. There is no positivity amongst ourselves when it comes to majority things or aspects of our life. And on the contrary, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran Sharif makes mention that only those people are despondent who do not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A mu'min is one that is never ever despondent. And with regards to the situation we are obviously living in today's time, the negativity with regards to media, that is on one side. Then when negativity with regards to the home, that is also something else. The media will always broadcast things that life is so bad and always the grass is greener on the other side, so you must leave this country, go somewhere else. There's so much of crime, there's so much of murder, there's so much of this, only negative. Come to the home, there's so much of problems, the wife, the children, this, that, there's divorce, there's so many problems at home. So again, negative. Rather we just leave this home and go out. Leave the woman and go out. Bugger the children. That's the unfortunate situation. And it comes to even one step further. Social media, that's even worse. The amount of riba and gossip that takes place on social media you might not find anywhere else. And you want to take somebody to task, just put one message on social media, and that thing just goes viral, and bichara the person's izzat and respect is also gone. So everything around us, unfortunately, is just we are living in a negative life, negative time. There's no positivity and there's no hope in ourselves. Whereas Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was obviously a human being of the best nature, best akhlaq, best character. Yet every situation that arose, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam emotionally stood up to that situation. If it was sadness, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam displayed sadness. It's not unnatural to display sadness. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam's child passed. In fact, in Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam's life, from his 6 children, 5 passed away in his life. 1 survived him. So he buried 5 of his own children. When you talk about the difficulty that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he never ever became despondent. He never despaired of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in times of sadness, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam expressed sadness. In times of happiness also, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam expressed his happiness. There's one incident, famous incident, the hadith of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam of Jabir radiallahu anhu. He got married, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam didn't know. And one day Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saw him on his clothes, he had some mark. Like what today, those whatever women folk used to put those days, mehendi or something, today maybe some lipstick or something was on his clothes. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told him, oh Javed, mashallah, you got married? He said, I got married on the way of Allah. Who you got married to? You are a young man. You got married to a woman who was married before. We know you got married to a woman who was a virgin, not married before. He said, I got married to a woman who was married before. You know, oh, Jabir, young person, you got married to a young wife. Why you got married to an elderly woman? So he explained and he told Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, oh Nabi of Allah, you know in Uhud, last year my father got martyred, he became shaheed. And he left behind daughters. There was obviously nobody to take care of the daughters. I as a brother have to look after my sisters. If I got married to a young woman, then how would she take care of my sisters? In our terms, one young cherry will be there, she'll be jollying around. Where she's going to have this looking after my sisters? So I got married to a little bit elderly woman, so she can look after take care of my. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam commended him for his intellect. In times of happiness, you express happiness. Times of sadness, you express sadness. There's a hadith that comes in Muslim Sharif that, and it's famous that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam after Fajr Salah generally used to sit with the Sahaba, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked anybody saw a dream or any such situation. Anybody saw, they narrated Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saw a dream, he used to mention to the Sahaba around his mind what he seen. Like that, and sometimes if there wasn't anything, then they used to speak about their past. So one Bedouin came to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and said, Nabi of Allah, you know what I dreamt? It was a very strange dream. What he seen? He said, I dreamt that someone chopped my neck off. Someone chopped my neck off. In one narration, it makes mention, I went after that person, head is off the body. And another narration makes mention, I started running after my head. He's explaining, this is a dream that he has seen. And he's in front of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So look at how Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam tackled the situation emotionally. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also laughed. There's something to laugh about. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also laughed. You see? And then after that, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam advised him and told him, when we see such dreams, we do not mention it to people. Because now everybody was obviously sitting around there. When a person sees a bad dream, he shouldn't mention it to people. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was a person who also had emotions. And according to the situation, he expressed his emotions. It's not that, oh, that was the Nabi of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he was of such a high status, had such a high status he had in the sight of Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala. So that was Allah's Nabi. In actual fact, it actually happened in the life of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Once he was in his home, and 3 Sahaba came to the masjid. And they were discussing amongst themselves, and they said, you know, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he's got such a high status in the eyes of Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala, we can't even come close to him. So for us to reach a height of spirituality, we'll have to do so much more. So one amongst those 3 said, I'll never get married. I won't have responsibility, I'll just devote myself to Allah's worship. The other one said, I won't sleep at night. I'll stay the whole night awake and I'll worship Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala. The third one said, I'll fast every day of my life. Spiritually, they wanted to uplift themselves. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came out from his home and he said, who's those 3 people who are speaking? Just repeat what you said. And each one said what he wanted to say or what he had said, mentioned. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, I am atqakum lillah. The most one, the greatest person that fears Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala is myself. However, I also sleep at night and I stay awake also at night. I fast sometimes and sometimes I don't fast. And I also got married. So a person can be a devoted servant of Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala by doing everything. You don't have to leave out aspects of a person's life to become close to Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala. Everything within what we're living can become a means of happiness for us. Hope for us in everything that we're doing. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam actually made mention and said that even if a person, once Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was sitting with the Sahaba and he said, a person fulfills his desire with his wife, he will get reward. فَلَهُ صَدَقَةً. So Sahaba said, O Nabi of Allah, that a person is fulfilling his desire. What has that got to do with ibadat and thawab? Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, alright, look at it this way. If this person fulfilled his desire in the wrong place, what will happen? He'll get guna and sin. So if he does the same thing in the halal place in the right way, why won't Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala reward him? Everywhere our deen has kept such rewards for us that wherever every step or every way you turn your face, you can get reward. Once Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned something very strange. He says, إِذَا أَحَدُكُمُ السَّاعَةِ إِذَا أَتَى أَحَدُكُمُ السَّاعَةِ فَلْيَغْرِسِ الْفَصَلَ. If a person is planting a seed or planting a tree and the trumpet for Qiyamah is blown, the trumpet for Qiyamah is blown. Now don't despair and say the trumpet is blown, now let me leave this. You were doing that good action, فَلْيَغْرِسْهَا, plant that seed, plant that tree. Things that are happening around us now, because of this now I'm not going to do this good action, and because of this now I'm not going to do this, oh no, because of this person I'm not going to go to the masjid, and this person here is there so I'm not going to donate here. But look at the good things out of everything. Iblis, the word Iblis in Arabic comes from balasa. Balasa is a person who is despondent. And Iblis, what pleases him the most? When he makes a servant despondent from the hope of Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala. That pleases Shaitan, pleases Iblis. And for us, Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala is there for us in every situation, every condition, the worst of conditions a person can experience. And if you look at it as us as believers, What keeps us steadfast? It is our iman. Some person, there's a tragedy in the family, there was an accident, a person loses 3-4 members of the family, or some heavy situation, person's house burns down, person's factory bursts, whatever happens. What keeps a mu'min strong? It's only his iman. And if you look at the disbelievers, one of two things happens to them. Their whole life and their effort is put into this dunya and to gather this dunya, and when they lose that, one of two things. They lose their mind. They lose their mind, so either they go off their head or they commit suicide. That is a disbeliever. And a mu'min is always hopeful. No matter how much loss I have suffered, Allah is still there to give me. What Allah Ta'ala has taken, He can give me much more. He can replace it with much more. So therefore, today unfortunately in our discussions, we are only negative and we only speak about problems. How many of us are positive and look at the solutions? How many of us look at solutions? Presently, let's just take this example. We are going through load shedding. Everyone. We are all in the same boat, whether this way or that way. Load shedding, if it's not at the house, the shop is affecting you somewhere down the line. And even if you got backup power, the networks are not working. So even the cell phone doesn't work. Internet doesn't work. So your life is disturbed in whichever way. However, a positive person will say that this is a problem. What is the solution? Let's look at some backup. Let me look at some inverter. Let me look at some batteries. Now you're thinking positive. And if we're only going to sit and all of us just going to sit and complain, it's not going to come to any solution. It's not going to benefit us. Like that, every aspect of our life, if we look at what is the positive solution to something moving forward. And we don't know sometimes how to address a solution. Either we make the problem sometimes even bigger. I'll give you an example. There was a certain king. One day he dreamt that he passed away. So obviously all his riches and his wealth and his palace comes to an end. So the next morning when he woke up, he announced and he said, everybody who knows how to interpret a dream must come and interpret my dream. I've seen a dream. And with that he said, whoever says I'm going to die, I'm going to send him to the gallows. Strange. Nevertheless, everyone came and truthfully they interpreted the dream that, listen, your king, your time is up, you're going now. So there was one person passing the palace. He saw this commotion outside. He said, okay, let me go and see also what's happening here. He got close. He said, king saw a dream. He said, all right, let me also go and hear what happened there. He goes to the king. King, what did you see? How did you see? When did you see it? What time? It made it a bit interesting. He said, king, I got good news for you. He says, what's the good news? He says, your family is going to live long. Your family is going to live long. King was very, very happy. He gave him some gifts. What did he say? His approach was in the correct way. Your family is going to live long. You want the way out. But he didn't tell the king that. You want the way out. Your family is going to live long. This is how we can change negative situations into positive ones. Recently, after Eid, I visited one home. And there was a certain family member of that home. So he wanted to give sweets to all the children. One child did not come to make salam to him. So he said, okay, if you don't make salam, you won't get a sweet. If you don't make salam, you won't get a sweet. And that child was not going to make salam. He didn't want to go. Afterwards, I told that uncle, and now he became marhum after this thing, few months after that. Nevertheless, I told him, listen, why couldn't you say this? Whichever child will make salam to me, he'll get a sweet. Look how you change the whole thing. If you're not going to make salam, you're not going to get a sweet. Whichever person will make salam to me, whichever child, he'll get a sweet. Now you're putting something in a positive aspect. We also in our lives, everything in our homes also, sometimes how we behave, whether it's with our children, whether it is with our spouses, everything only becomes negative. I do this here and I do that. You people never ever appreciate it. You people don't do this. Why can't we change the approach in our homes? As those people that work in the communities and deal with matters, today that is what is happening. Everybody is in his own cocoon of life and he thinks he is whatever he is doing and that is what life is. And if somebody is on another path, we bring that person down. We know there are so many people, Allah Ta'ala save everyone and even assist those that are involved in substance abuse. If a person says, your whole life is messed up and you're going to be, why can't we bring a positive situation out of that? Imagine, let's take a lesson from Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. with regards to his own uncle, Hazrat Hamza radiallahu anhu. Hamza radiallahu anhu was not only murdered, his body was mutilated. His body was mutilated. Nevertheless, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam still had fikr and worry that the killer of my uncle must accept Islam. Imagine if he comes on the day of Qiyamah and says, you never invite me to Islam. What will be my situation? And this is a lesson for us. How many people work at our homes or under our employment? Do we create that positive nature that we encourage our workers and helpers at home to accept Islam? Or we become barriers of people coming close to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? There is a certain woman in our town. For the past 20-25 years, there isn't a woman that worked for her that didn't accept Islam. And over and above that, not only that, besides making them accept Islam, within working hours, 3 to 4, whatever time, 1 hour, she herself used to teach them the matters of deen. Now the matters of Paki, Napaki, cleanliness, teaching Quran Sharif, etc. She herself used to teach them. Okay? So we ourselves are not positive within ourselves, within the people around us. How are we going to create a positive nature around us? So Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's desire was even the killer of his uncle must accept Islam. Nabi Sallallahu sent a letter, wrote a letter to him. So Nabi Sallallahu Inna Allah la yaghfiru yushraka bihi. It's a long incident. Sent him one ayat. He responded here in this ayat. Allah Ta'ala says, a person who committed shirk, Allah won't forgive him. But I committed shirk in my life. Then Nabi Sallallahu sent him another letter. Send another. Illa man taba wa amana wa amil. That person who asks for forgiveness and brings iman and does good action. He says, what if I do not do any good actions? Then Allah Ta'ala won't forgive me. Then the third ayat, Nabi Sallallahu said, Ya ibadiyal ladina asrafu ala anfusim la taqnatu min rahmatillah. Nevertheless, he comes to Medina Munawwara. When he enters Medina Munawwara, he himself is scared. If anybody sees me, they will pounce on me, they'll kill me before that. So he covers himself. And he comes close to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When he comes close to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, now he removes his scarf or his covering. The Sahaba that were there saw Wahshi. They were ready to pounce on him. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, relax. And he came close to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam wanted to put an end to that chapter of life. But Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked him, oh Wahshi, tell me how you killed my uncle. There was something that was in his heart and he wanted somebody must get that expression. Tell me what happened exactly. Sometimes we don't even get to the end of the story and we're already happy. The child didn't even explain to you what happened. You're already giving him one shot. First let him finish off. What was the whole thing? What happened? Woman, whoever it is at home, children, wives, they're not even mentioning or they haven't finished already. Yeah, you must have did this, you must have said that. Yeah, you were. Listen exactly what happened. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, tell me how you killed my uncle. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, as he's speaking, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is tearing. This is how he mutilated Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's uncle's body. And then after the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, after him accepting Islam, told him, oh Wahshi, whatever you've done is forgotten. It's forgotten. Allah is going to forgive you. However, whenever I'm going to see you, it is going to bring back the memories of my uncle. So it will be better if you do not present yourself in front of me. It will be better if you do not present yourself in front of me. That person who caused so much of harm to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, there's forgiveness for him. And still hope for him. If there was hope for that person and hope for everybody else in the time of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, today we don't have hope. Whatever sins we committed, our Ustad at the end of this, Mufti Taqi Usmani Sahib mentioned, he says, today unfortunately we're always harping about whatever happened. Are we looking at the future? But you ask Allah Ta'ala for forgiveness, that was your past life, sincerely, right, finished, forgotten. Are we doing such things that is improving our life going forward? We're only worried about the past. What about the future? There's so much of hope with regards to the future. Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala's qualities are so much. With regards to His forgiveness, with regards to Him granting us so much, so many qualities of Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala. We only know one quality of punishment. Allah Ta'ala is that one that forgives. Allah Ta'ala is the same one that those that do not even believe in Him, He's giving them rosy and sustenance also. He's taking care of everyone, even the one that doesn't believe in Him. Why won't He forgive us? Why won't He give us? Bring that hope within ourselves and within our homes. This will bring us closer to Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala. We will start loving Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala, and then our lives will come, we'll spend our life in the obedience of Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala grant us the making amal. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah. ta'ala.